staff report, subject to the conditions of approval 1 through 8 as listed in this staff report.
Second.
All right, I have first and a second. Any other discussion? All right, then I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Project passed. Thank you
very much. Good luck.
Approval with your, yeah, and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Happy to have you. All right. Exactly. Good point. All right, guys, let me see. Our next item, as we know, number 10, we've already done, so we're at number 11. So, City of Sparks Annual Report on Truckee Meadows Regional Planning. Welcome, Jim.
Veteran Planning Commissioners may know, every year required by state statute, the Sparks Planning Commission and all the planning commissions in Washoe County are required to review an annual report and ultimately have that annual report forwarded to Truckee Meadows Regional Planning in our case. So staff has prepared the annual report for your review, and if you have any questions, I can try and answer them.
Any questions? All right.
Good job, Jim.
Good job. Yeah.
Good job.
I guess there's no motions on this, right?
I have a question.
We have a question.
We did put a motion if you wanted to endorse it.
You did. Yeah. I'm sorry. Let's go.
No, I just have a question.
Thank you, my friend.
We made changes. I know you made reference to the Todd areas. Is that part of what you're reporting, changes that occurred during the year in that?
Yeah, one of the questions from regional planning is implementation on centers and TOD corridors. And so we'll be reporting that we reduced the size of the TOD corridor in the city of Sparks by removing what all of us know as the employment district from the TOD.
Any other questions? All right. Now that I see, I'd like to see if somebody would like to make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion.
Yes.
I move to endorse and forward to the Truckee Meadows Regional Planning Commission and Governing Board the City of Sparks Annual Report for the calendar year 2012.
Get a second.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. All right. Thank you, Jim. I guess 11, number 12. Next item, number 12, which is appointment of planning commissioner to the committee to review responses, zoning code assessment requests for proposals. Staff want to speak in?
Sure, Jim Rundle, Senior Planner, to address item number 12. So the Planning Commission may remember that last year the Planning Commission voted to appoint Barbara Sanders, Commissioner Sanders, to help with the RFP process for an analysis of the Sparks zoning code. Essentially, the City Council directed staff to identify barriers to development. Ultimately, we picked Clarion out of Colorado to help, and CFA of Reno to help us conduct the analysis of the zoning code. We considered that phase 2 of a 3-phased approach. The initial phase was staff bringing forward some of the code amendments that the Planning Commission's reviewed over the last year. Phase 2 was the analysis of the zoning code, and now we're entering into phase 3, which is essentially taking that analysis and reconstructing the zoning code for the City of Sparks. The Title 20 is what we all refer to it as. This could include new permitted uses, new definition section, a reformatting of the zoning code. Ultimately, I don't know what it will include, but those are the things that we'll be putting out a request for proposals on. We're essentially requesting that the Planning Commission appoint a planning commissioner today to help staff ultimately pick a contractor or consultant who makes a bid on that RFP. Once we get our team together to help on that, deciding who the consultant will be, we will review draft RFPs from whomever submits one. We will evaluate those and score them and then we will meet with the team to probably interview them, or at least that's what we are anticipating. Around May 13th to May 17th is probably when we will have that interview process. We will we'll probably review the proposals between the 13th and 17th, probably have an interview on the 20th or so of May. Ultimately, we hope to get this to the City Council by June 10th so that it will be approved in this fiscal year, and then move forward over the next 8 to 12 months with the process of going through that RFP process. I would assume we will come to the Planning Commission in some fashion, whether it, a workshop or engage the Planning Commission and City Council in some format. We haven't worked out those details as of yet, but today's item would be to appoint a commissioner to help us on selecting an applicant.
Right.
Excuse me, selecting a consultant.
Right. All right, discussion.
Well, I guess I have a question. And we haven't really talked about this, but Commissioner Sanders participated in the first two parts of this, and I assume it would be to our benefit to have continuity there if she's willing to do it. Sure. Is that the case?
I don't know that you necessarily need to have continuity. Nothing against Commissioner Sanders, but
Yeah, my feeling won't be hurt.
to answer the question honestly, I don't believe that there's any continuity in this case. It will be a new RFP. Staff will be grading the submittals and ultimately narrowing it down and having an interview process like we did last time. But the planning commissioners, in my opinion, are probably all on a similar playing field. You reviewed the zoning code analysis. You have seen the amendments that have come through based on that analysis, and are probably all, like I said, on a level playing field for who would be who could be appointed to this next phase.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if Commissioner Sanders would agree to be on that committee again, I would support that.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yes.
Actually, could I make a suggestion? And if it's okay with Doug, we could amend the item slightly so we could have an appointed person and then a backup just in case. Yes. Because we're on a fairly tight schedule in terms of these dates, and so we will need whoever's appointed will Commissioner Sanders, if it's Commissioner Sanders, you would need to be available to participate in the review and then in the interviews on those specific dates, more or less, that Jim referenced. So in the event that something comes up, if we could have a backup, it'd be great.
Doug, is that acceptable that we do vote with an alternate on this? Anybody like to discuss on an alternate?
I'll be an alternate.
Then I make a motion that we recommend that the Commissioner Sanders be the designated person for your group, and that Commissioner Lean be the alternate.
Second.
Okay, I've got a first and second. I'm assuming no more comments. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Let me see. The next item is public comments. Seeing no public, I think I can close that one. Okay, comments from commissioners?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All right.
We're done.